guys, how y'all doing? It's Sarah. So I've already posted 2 videos about this, but if you're new to my channel, I had a boob job a couple months ago. Actually, it's almost been a year. I had the procedure done in Seoul, Korea with Docfinderkorea and View. Let me be specific. How many months has it been? I got it done last year in July, so it's been 10 months. So I want to do this Q&A and this final update. We can just get everything out the way and not talk about this anymore. Okay, let's do it. The most common question I got is, did you worry about breast implant illness? So for those who don't know, breast implant illness is something, it's not a recognized complication yet, but it's a phenomenon that has gained more and more attention in the last couple of years. A lot of women who have undergone breast augmentation have given anecdotes about how they became more sick after they got breast augmentation and subsequently removed them and gotten better. This has actually led to an FDA investigation which happened after I got my breast implants in. Symptoms of breast implant illness can include pain, brain fog, dry eyes, headaches, etc. And there's also reports that it could lead to suicidal thought. This was not my #1 concern, even though I got a lot of questions about it, probably because if you look up breast implants, that's unavoidably something that you'll come across. However, this wasn't my #1 concern. It's something that I thought about, but it wasn't a huge concern of mine because there are so many more complications surrounding breast implants that are way more common, like capsular contracture or just general anesthesia risk, and those complications occur at a rate that's statistically significant enough that it's something that doctors, surgeons are concerned with. So as the patient, I trust what my doctor tells me, but I'm really glad that the FDA is looking into this and doing more research on it. I'm sorry I tied my hair up because my hair was pissing me off, but I definitely think that breast implant illness is something that every woman who is planning on getting breast augmentations should research well before they get into it. I'm glad that I read about the symptoms so I could be aware and be on the lookout for them. There's actually a video of another YouTuber I love talking about her experience with breast implant illness, which I'll link below. It's just something that I'm glad I read about beforehand so that I could be on the lookout for any symptoms after the surgery. But I haven't experienced any of the symptoms, and it appears that they only happen to a very small minority of women. But yeah, that's my very long answer to the question. Can you still breastfeed? I don't think I want kids, but this is one of the first questions I ask my surgeon is, will I still be able to breastfeed? And I think in some of the very old techniques or with some surgeons who aren't very skilled, it could cause trauma to the mammary glands to the point where you just can't breastfeed anymore. Of course, I haven't been pregnant since then, so I guess I don't know until I breastfeed. I have been assured by my surgeon that his technique will not interfere with future breastfeeding, and many women do go on to breastfeed after they get a breast augmentation. How much is the procedure? Because I partnered with a hospital, you know, sharing my story online, it was free for me. So first of all, I saved a lot of money, but the price that it would have costed would include 4 of the procedures that I got. So I had a lump removed in the inner part of my right breast, which I talked about in the first and I think second video, the augmentation, the lift, and during my 2 weeks of recovering in Korea, I also got a laser facial. So I only know the total price for all 4 of those procedures, and there usually isn't a standard price on a procedure. That's why you need a consultation, because everybody's needs are different, everybody's goals are different, and what you start with and what you want to end up with can hugely make the cost vary. So this is a very generous range because I don't want anyone coming back and be like, you said it was gonna cost this much. I would say prepare to spend $8,000 to $20,000 for a breast augmentation in US dollars. Usually they have some sort of discount, and because Docfinderkorea affiliates themselves with the hospitals that they're partnered up with, you would pay the same price whether you're going through an agent like Docfinderkorea or if you were to just go to them directly yourself. Sometimes you even get a discount, but if you're from North America and you're just thinking, oh, I'll just go to Asia to get this done for like 200 bucks. And I think a lot of people have this misconception that having plastic surgery in Asia is super cheap, when usually it is the same price or sometimes even more expensive than the West when you have a good surgeon, which is what you want, especially when you're in a foreign country. So I'm all for a good bargain, but you can't Groupon new tits. Did you lose nipple sensitivity? Okay, so this is a big concern of mine because the insertion method was through the areola. So my nipple was completely off of my body at one point during the surgery. So by the way, this is extremely rare, but just I've seen pictures of people who have lost their nipples. I watch Botched. I've seen those videos and pictures of people who have literally lost their nipples, like they turn black and die and fall off. So I was so scared that I was gonna lose nipple sensitivity, but if anything, they're more sensitive than before. I can feel both of them. Yes, they're there. And I think my left one is a little bit more sensitive, in a good way. But yeah, nothing to complain about that. Are you happy with the size you got? So at first, I was really happy about the size. I wanted to go even bigger because I couldn't visualize that size on my body. I just thought, oh, like this person got 380cc and it just looks like a regular C cup on her. So I was like, yeah, I'll go with the size. And then my surgeon, thank God for him, he was actually the one who told me, girl, those are gonna look so huge on you. He made me decide to go with a smaller size, and they ended up still being double or triple D's because I started off with D's already. So in my opinion, so at first I was very happy with them because I thought they looked great, but as time went on and I had to lift things and start working out and do push-ups, sleep on my side, I started to realize that it's inhibiting some of my activity, and they're so heavy. Like, shout out to girls who are born with big old titties, because I understand the struggle now. Back pain is real, and even though I still think they look great, I probably would have sacrificed some of the aesthetic for the functionality. What do you think about the hospital you chose and your doctor? The surgeon and View were great. They took care of me even though I was really nervous the whole time. My surgeon, his name is Dr. Choi Soon Woo. He was there a lot. So this was shown in a vlog in the first video I made about this, and I think the second one too. He was at every post-op appointment but one. I probably saw him like 5 times after my surgery, and that's not something you get with every hospital. Sometimes the only time you see your surgeon is at the surgery table, and he personally was checking my progress as I was healing and gave me advice on scarring and all that and how I can heal easier, and that I think facilitated the doctor-patient relationship because the trust was there before the surgery and it was there after the surgery. The staff was also very nice. The first couple of days I was in a lot of pain, and anytime I needed painkillers or anytime I had anything weird happen to me, I could literally call them or just take the elevator and go to their counter and just be like, hey, something's wrong. They were really professional. So the medical staff and nurses, they were really nice. And then there were the consultants. Yes, there are a lot of people involved in this. The consultants were like the first people who would listen to what you want before you talk to a surgeon, and they were there to assess what you want, and they let me feel all different types of implants, and I just trusted them. And one thing that happened that I'm really glad that they were there for is when they detected a lump in my right breast. I didn't go in knowing that I had a lump, and I didn't go in knowing that that was going to be part of my surgery, but when they found it, they could have just been like, okay, I'll let another doctor deal with it, we'll just do the implants and sew you up and then go. But no, they genuinely wanted to make sure that I was in good hands, in good health. They removed the lump with a procedure called mammotome, with this really small excision, by the way. Like, the scar is really small, but they removed it and did a biopsy, and it could have been a really scary outcome if the biopsy didn't turn out the way we expected it to. But they were just very professional, very health oriented, and at the end of the day cares about your well-being. Why did you go with an agent? What do you think about Docfinderkorea's service? Let me just put it this way. I would not have been able to go through this entire process without an agent. I wouldn't have been able to speak the language. I wouldn't know where to go to. I wouldn't know how to get transportation. I wouldn't know if I miscommunicated anything with my surgeon. They were half of the equation, because good communication with your surgeon is really important. Even if he's really skilled and trained, you need someone to facilitate when you're in a foreign country, and their services are free, so there's no reason why I would choose to do it without them, you know. They helped me take care of a lot of things that would have caused me a headache. Like, they helped me find a doctor, because sometimes what you read online isn't always accurate, and I think it's important to get a local's opinion about which surgeons they think are best. They arrange your appointments, so pre-op, post-op. Like I said, they help you translate. They arrange transportation, so even if you just want to go to Korean barbecue, they can help you like arrange transportation for that too. And virtually anything else, they're just one call away, because you don't really have a point of contact in this foreign country if you don't already have friends or family there. And so many things could go wrong in a foreign country, and you're about to embark on this thing that's about to be one of the most stressful things that's going to happen to you physically and mentally. The last thing you need is to take on more responsibilities. So having everything arranged and prepared, it was just a huge relief. And not only could there be a language barrier, there could be a medical terminology problem, because for the longest time I confused areola with nipple, and my surgeon laughed at me. Tips for faster recovery. My biggest tip would be to try to get surgery when it's a bit colder. When I got my surgery, it was during Seoul's heat wave. It wasn't just summer, it was their hottest week of the year. Not only is it bad for all the sweating is so bad for your healing, because the moisture can make the scarring worse, and it could increase the bacteria around your incisions, which again leads to bad scarring, and it could also lead to an infection. And other than that, just follow your doctor's orders. You should be fine. Just try to do it in the winter, honey. Anyway, I didn't feel like flashing my tits the entire time during this video, but here is an updated before and after picture of what my boobs look like. Not that you need any reminder if you follow me on Instagram, but that is it. I hope I answered all of your questions. I hope this was informative. To end this 3-part series, leave a comment to let me know which one of your boobs you like more, the right one or the left one. Oh, better yet, tell me what your names are for them. Yeah, I want to know what your boobs names are, and go vote for and like the name that you like the most, and maybe I'll start calling my viewers by that name. Okay, thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.